Right, police at my door, part 4. Where was I? Okay, yeah, get me a taxi, get me out of here. I'll have to say that some of the psychiatrists was alright actually. In fact, they were all alright, to be honest with you. They were only doing the job. Um, but some of the care that I received in there was inadequate. As in, I had an open wound, as you could see on my photographs. I was in a bit bad way. I had a bandage and I wanted it changed. So they sent me in this room, apparently with a nurse. She must have been 18. She exuded no confidence whatsoever. She looked clueless. She acted clueless, and she was clueless. She was just going to take a bandage off and put it on without cleaning the scabbed up wound and the loose bits. I'm not even joking. In the end, I said, I'll do it myself. So I'm lying on the bed, cleaning my own wound, because this nurse didn't have a clue. And then someone else come in, and I was trying to tell him that I want a bandage on there. Then can you put some kind of plastic thing on it and tape it up so I can have a shower? Oh, this caused problems. They couldn't wrap their head around the fact that, oh, we're not allowed to do that. We haven't got anything. And I'm thinking, just how about, have you got an imagination? That's what I should have asked him. So, I mean, what is going on? Simple, really. The bandage came out of a packet. And guess what was on the packet? A plastic cover. I said, why can't you just use that and stick it over the top of it? What's the problem? And then she said something that I'd said, which wasn't true or something like that. He said, oh, that's right. The nurse said, oh, I said that to him. And I had to pull her up. I said, do not lie. So you never suggested anything like that. Now, obviously, she was trying to save face in front of her boss. But I don't give a shit. I'm not there to protect someone's inadequate skills and purporting to be a nurse. I mean, I just fell 30 foot. This requires a professional person, not some person who's only 18 and been told she's a nurse. Anyway, so I cleaned myself up, and then one of the doctors, psychiatrist, come to see me, and he sat me down and he had some paperwork on him. He said, before you go, I need to give you this paperwork. And the first one he handed me over was the reason and the explanation of why I was brought here. So, and he was just about to carry on talking, so I said, please give me a moment so I can read it. So I read the first paragraph, and it said, you have been brought here, you have been assessed by 2 doctors who said not to put a finer point on it, that you're mad and you should be here and you can't look after yourself. And as soon as I read that, I handed him back. I said, there you go. And he looked at me. I said, so just take it. And he picked it up. I said, I don't want it. And I said, it's not fit for purpose. I said, there's 3 pages there, and the first paragraph is false. So I don't even want to look at the rest of it until you can explain to me what that exactly means. I don't know what sort of people they've come across before, but he just tried to brush it over, and I was not having it. I said, can you go and get me somebody else then that can explain it to me, because I'm not accepting it. And I never. And then me taxi. Now bear in mind, I didn't have any keys to get in. I didn't know what state the door was in. I didn't know anything. I didn't even have any money. So they said, okay, we'll pay for a taxi. And then I said to one girl or lady or woman, I said, okay, I need to stop at my friend's to get some, I don't know, hammer, screwdriver, because I don't know what I'm going to... No, she said, you must go straight home. And I thought, are you taking the piss? So he's sending me home with no money, no key, no screwdriver, no hammer, to a flat that I've got no idea what's there, and I don't know whether they've got the fridge been turned off, the food I don't know. That's what she said. You have to go straight home. So I kept my counsel, and then I goes and sees another doctor or nurse or whatever. Oh, that was it. She said, you'll have to come back tomorrow. I said, what for? She said, to collect your tablets. I said, well, how am I supposed to get here? She said, well, you'll have to get a taxi. I said, well, that'll cost £40 round trip. She said, well, you'll have to come tomorrow. And I'm thinking, are you mad? And then I spoke to another nurse in there, and he said to me, do not come back here again. I'm not even kidding. I don't know what he'd heard, but I took his advice, and I didn't go back the next day. No chance. I don't need any tablets. So I get back, I stop at my friend's in the taxi, despite the advice from the mental nurse. And I had to come and break in. I get back to my flat and it's boarded up. So I'm looking at it. I thought, right. So I just palmed the wooden panel on the door. Boom. And I was in. I superglued the lock anyway. So the key was never going to work. And that did stop him. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, boys and girls. When they decided that they were going to burst in now with the riot police, 6 hours they'd had enough. They started to come in, but I had a fire extinguisher. You know, one of those, I think it was a dry powder one. So I blasted that down, which stopped them in the tracks, and they soon fucked off. And then the negotiator said, what's that, Greg? I said, you'll find out when you come in. Anyway, give it a few more blasts. And I forgot one of my traps. This would have been hilarious, and I'm gutted I forgot. I had a massive bottle of washing up liquid. Not a fairy, I got the cheap one from the pound shop, 2 bottles. And I was going to squirt it on the hallway floor and coming into the lounge and into the bedroom. Now you think about it, these guys were all 6 foot, full riot gear, shields from head to toe, helmets, lasers, torches, batons, CS spray, all sorts, like tasers, everything. Now I don't care what equipment they've got, what fancy ground radar, walls radar, computers, all those tools they've got. If I would have put all that on the floor, they would have been going tits up all the way down the hallway. They would not have been able to stand up. No chance. And the first one would have gone, he would have grabbed the second one, because I wasn't going to put it directly at the door. I was going to let him get in first and then pour it on the floor so it's thick, like ½ an inch thick of washing up liquid. Because if the first one would have fell at the door, the rest of them wouldn't have come in. So it was essential to get them in first and then let them fall so they all go down like a stack of dominoes. But I forgot, so I gutted about that. But don't forget, when they decided to come in, I'm panicking, you know what I mean? I was lucky that I locked the door to the balcony because my hand was shaking, obviously. And I forgot the washing up liquid. Anyway, so I'm in the flat now, and it is wrecked. It just pulled the curtains down, and everything is just like a bomb's hit it. All my plants had died on the balcony. Alright, I did throw one cabbage plant at them, and a tomato plant, I think. And a hammer, I can't remember. It was all the days. So I'm back in my flat. Next day, I get a knock on the door. It's the community health team. I'm thinking, oh Jesus, what now? Well, we just come around to make sure you're okay. I said, listen. And I told them what had happened. And I said, appreciate it if you don't come back again. And by the way, when I was in the hospital, I was showing symptoms of PTSD. And that was like, if someone come up behind me, and said something, I would jump. I'm not even kidding. And I told the psychologist this in there. And when I got home, I started thinking about it. And they were testing me when I was in there. Because one day, they come up to me about 5 times, came up behind me. And I fucking jumped, I tell you. And I think they were just seeing if I was trying to make it up or something. But how can you make that up? So anyway, I told the health worker to sling it, and I don't need anybody. And then I self-isolated again. It's rest, recuperation, build my spirituality, my religion, my artwork, exercise, painting, poetry and singing. I just wanted to be left alone. And then I got a phone call off my GP about 3 weeks after I got home. And I couldn't be more delighted because he's been my GP for over 15 years and he knows me well. And he said, oh, great. He said, yes, yeah. He said, I said, do you know what's going on? He said, yeah, I've got everything here, he said. He said, don't worry, you're under me, back under me now. I thought, thank God for that. And he said, right, he said, I've got a letter here from the psychiatrist. He said, I'll have to tell you, before I read it, or let you know, that this guy is one of the top psychologists, psychiatrists in the country. And I had to Google some of the words that he was used. But I can tell you now, this guy is the top man. And I thought, right, okay then. So, in a nutshell, he said there's absolutely nothing wrong with me at all. And I've got no mental problems or anything. He said, it's my personality. It's who I am. It's not mental. He didn't put it quite like that. But basically, that was the summary from the top psychologist in the country. And we had a good laugh about it. And I said, well, that's right. I said, if you met 5 people like me from my region, my area, my demographic, that all sound like me, that all have the same mindset, that they're not pushovers and they can survive on their own, and they're all talented and self-sufficient and not stupid. Anyway, we laughed. So yeah. So, if anybody thinks I'm mental, I'd like to give them the number for this psychologist, and let him assess whether they are worthy of asking me, am I mentally stable, without first being tested themselves. So there you go. After all that, I get confirmation from one of the top guys in the country that there's nothing wrong with me. That's just my personality. I was never in any doubt about that anyway, at all. But mad world, mad world. Peace out. Part 5, the conclusion and analysis, where, what, who, why and if. Let's see.